As 2021 has come to an end, this time of year I like to reflect on the roller coasters that I have ridden. Same with most coaster enthusiasts, we like to rank all of our coasters at the end of the year, and we like to reflect on the amazing experiences we've had. Maybe except for 2020, as that year we didn't really get to a whole lot of parks. So, as the 2021 year has come to an end, I would love to rank my top 30 roller coasters. Now, before we get into the list, I've already done a video ranking all the coasters that I've ridden. Now, I would encourage you to go check that one out, but this is merely an updated and more detailed version of that list. I also decided to make this video so that I could include all the coasters that I rode on my Florida trip. And just one more quick thing to note, I've only ridden 87 roller coasters. So don't expect an incredible list. Now, without further ado, this is my list of the top 30 roller coasters that I have ever ridden. Before we get started, here are some quick honorable mentions. Tigress at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Cobra's Curse at again Busch Gardens, Tampa. Fire Chaser Express at Dollywood. And Shredder at Nickelodeon Universe. These are all good rides, but just not quite good enough to make my top 30. Number 30, Riddlers Revenge at Six Flags New England. Now, this is your classic Vekoma SLC, but with one difference. It has vest restraints. The ride is still pretty rough, but I can appreciate its intense and snappy layout without any headbanging. I don't see this ride moving up anytime soon, mostly because I'm riding better and better coasters. It's still a good ride for what it is and a good supporter in the Six Flags New England coaster lineup. Number 29, Dragonflyer at Dollywood. Dragonflyer is a Vekoma suspended family coaster, and I did really have a really fun time on this coaster. It's very smooth and has some really good intense moments, such as that first overbank and the helix in the middle of the ride, though there's one problem with this coaster, and that is its length. This thing is over in a flash, and I waited over 2 hours for this attraction. And I'm going to say that yes, this is a good ride, but I don't think it was worth it for that long of a wait. Now, this attraction is over Riddlers Revenge, mostly because of its smoothness. Now, it might move up if I get more rides on it, but I have no idea when the next time I'm going to Dollywood is, so Dragonflyer is going to have to stay in the spot for now. Number 28, Expedition Everest at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, one of the only reasons that it's actually on this list is its theming, as if this ride was in a blank field, it would still be pretty good, but it would be nowhere near my top 30. A good presentation is one of my favorite things about coasters, and Expedition Everest's is incredible. But other than that, you have a decently forceful helix and a decently sized drop that gives a little pop of floater airtime. Now, this ride is over Dragonflyer because of the theming and the length. Number 27, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Just like Expedition Everest, the theming is really what did it for me, but I am a huge Harry Potter fan. Located at Universal Studios Orlando in Orlando, Florida, this ride had a lot of things that I like in a coaster. First of all, the coaster section itself is pretty short, but it does have a few surprising pops of airtime and a decently forceful turn. But again, it's just the theming that did it for me. Now, why is this over Expedition Everest? Well, like I said earlier, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and in my opinion, this ride is just more complete. On Expedition Everest, with the Yeti animatronic not working, it feels a little incomplete and just a shadow of its former self. But Gringotts still has everything working perfectly since the day it opened. Number 26, Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, this ride was really fun, and I love that flying sensation. But the only reason it's over Gringotts is that absolutely insane pretzel loop. I'm an absolute sucker for positive G-forces, and in my opinion, this is just more of a complete ride. Plus, that drop in the back row was pretty insane. Number 25, Batman the Dark Knight at Six Flags New England. This is a smaller B&M floorless, but I found it to be very intense. It was just a really fun ride in general, and I just cannot get enough of that zero-G roll. And the ride is also remarkably smooth, unlike what other people say. This ride is over Superman Ultimate Flight, mostly for that zero-G roll and the better layout, and this ride just has more variety. Number 23, Phobia Fear at Lake Compounds. Now, unlike other people, I really do enjoy the Skyrocket 2 models. I know they're a clone, but they pack in a huge punch. They have great positive Gs, great airtime, and great hang time. Though it is a little bit of a short ride and the launches are completely forceless, this ride only has lap bars, and that puts it way over all the other Skyrocket 2s. I have a separate review on Phobia Fear Coaster, and I highly encourage you to go check that video out as I go more into detail. Number 22, Mystery Mine at Dollywood. Now, I was not expecting to like this coaster as much as I did. From what I've heard, it was a rough, boring nightmare of a coaster, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I came off this ride with a huge smile on my face. Now, the second half, though boring and pretty shaky, I still found myself having a fun time on. And I just cannot get enough of vertical lift hills, as I love that feeling of looking directly into the sky. But those are not the only thing Mystery Mine has up its sleeve, as the finale is one of the best on any coaster. 2 back-to-back barrel rolls with excellent hang time. Number 21, Green Lantern at Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, a lot of people seem to hate on this ride, and I get that. The positive Gs that this ride has are leg numbing. Now, the stand-up position didn't really affect me too much, and I had plenty of time to appreciate this coaster's intensity. Though, I can completely understand why some people highly dislike this ride. But I found all of the inversions to be incredibly forceful, and those ending corkscrews were so insanely snappy. And on the switchback hill before the mid-course brake run, I actually got a pop of airtime, which is the weirdest sensation to get on a stand-up coaster. Combined with the fact that it was running at its peak, as the mid-course brake run was completely off and it was just hauling throughout the entire layout. This was one of my favorite coasters from my Six Flags Great Adventure trip. Number 20, White Lightning at Fun Spot Orlando. Now, White Lightning, while rough, had some really good pops of airtime. For such a small attraction, this roller coaster packed in a pretty big punch. Airtime is my favorite thing to get on a roller coaster, and this is over Green Lantern mostly because I had so much of it. Though the airtime wasn't very strong, I can appreciate the quantity that it had. It also had very good pacing, as it never really let up throughout its course. I have a separate review on White Lightning on my channel from a long time ago, and I encourage you to go check that video out as I go more into depth. Number 19, Tennessee Tornado at Dollywood. This is the best aero coaster I have ever ridden. This ride is perfectly smooth, very intense, and has one of the most insane first drops I have ever experienced. Though the biggest problem with this ride is its length, as I felt like it was over in a flash. I waited around an hour for Tennessee Tornado on one train ops, so I can't really say that it was worth it. But I can appreciate the ride for what it has, and what it has is incredible. Number 18, Wild Eagle at Dollywood. Now, Wild Eagle gets a lot of hate in the coaster community for not being true to the wing coaster model and not living up to its full potential. But I'm just going to tell you today that Wild Eagle is awesome and is so intense. Every inversion is either snappy or graceful, and that's another thing that I love about it. Also, the setting of this ride is just beautiful, located on a hillside, so you get some gorgeous views of the Smoky Mountains. This coaster is over Tennessee Tornado, 1, because it's a much longer ride, and 2, I just love the wing coaster seating. My point is, I really just do not get the hate for this attraction. I think it is a great attraction and is one of the best rides Dollywood has to offer. Number 17, Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Is it a family coaster? Yes. Does it make it any less great of a ride? Absolutely not. Cheetah Hunt is a blast from start to finish. With good airtime moments and some pretty punchy launches, this is a great ride. Not to mention how smooth it is and the views you get up top from the treetop element. Now, then again, the terrain and setting of this roller coaster is absolutely stunning, as you dive over and under trenches, bushes, and rockwork. Now, this coaster is above Wild Eagle because of those 3 launches. I absolutely love those launches and they are so fun in the front row. Unfortunately, they are a little bit of a dud in the back row, kind of just like Velocicoaster, which you will see later on this list. But other than that, This is a fun, graceful ride that all ages can enjoy. Now, for the last spot in this video, we have Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, for a bit of time, this was the most intense coaster I've ever ridden. And yes, I know it's just a Batman clone, but this was my first one and so far only one. And let me just tell you, this thing feels like it's gonna rip your legs off. With that upwards helix, 5 insanely snappy inversions, this is a great ride. I really see now why Six Flags decided to clone these rides, as they are incredible attractions. Now that is going to do it for part 1 of ranking the top 30 roller coasters that I have ridden. Part 2 will be out soon, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Are my opinions controversial, and what do you think of my opinions? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to like, comment, or maybe even subscribe if you have the time. Now without further ado, I'll see you guys at part 2. Peace.